Hey everybody, this is Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Well, I'm out in the yard today enjoying a little bit of shade and it's a little bit cooler today. The humidity is kind of broke, and I thought I'd just sit out here a little bit and chat with you instead of having to be in the house. Our company, our family members just went home. They were here for a week and helped get some more things done, got some more gates and fences put up around the kind of like the security for the, for the farm, and for also the cattle pastures. And up on our hillside we've got some land up there, and him and Blade had already dug holes and had stuff lined out where Howie wanted the fence that he had ordered, and so the family went up there and they've got fences set, and there's a little bit more to do that, maybe those of us that are here can band together and get those things done. But I sure appreciate those that put, they put their vacation time on hold. This is the second week that they've done that, and I sure appreciate it. And I can't do anything other than just to thank them and try to feed them as best we can while they're here, and try to do. I know my two brother-in-laws, they like pickles and jellies and different things, so I'm going to try to put together a couple of boxes of that kind of stuff just to say a thank you to them. And I know by no means does that ever give back everything that they've given to me, but I sure appreciate them, and I want them to know that. Well, we've been busy the last couple of days. Haven't really gotten a whole lot of farm work done other than just feeding and watering and making sure the animals are comfortable. But as far as projects, we haven't really gotten anything done because doctor's appointments on Monday and doctor's appointments today, and we've got those behind us. Papa Tex had some biopsies done about 3 weeks ago, and yesterday, Monday, we went for the results, and thank the Lord, all of those came back a good report. Nothing, no signs of cancer anywhere, and so we're praising the Lord for that. And then today I just had to go for a checkup and had to have my blood work done for, have my sugar tested and make sure that that I get myself back on track and start looking better to the things that I know I should be taking care of. And I had him check my lungs. Remember, I told y'all that I've been having some, seems like residual problems with my lungs since I had COVID back in December. And he listened to my lungs, and they checked my oxygen, and all of that looks and sounds good. He said that there have been, reports of people having issues with their lungs after COVID, and so it's just something that we'll keep an eye on, and going forward, if I continue to have issues, we may have to do something else. And I will say that it seems like it might have improved a little bit, and that's a good thing. And so I want to be around, and I'm looking forward to having that sweet grandson arrive in December, and I'm excited to spoil him. And I started to say send him back home to his parents, but I don't know about that. I think that I'll enjoy having him around, and his grandma and his Cheyenne's mama, I'm sure she would say the same thing. She's looking forward to spoiling him. So I've got some things to look forward to, and there's no, it's not time to quit. It's not time to give up. I'm still here on this earth, and I still have a job to do. So I hope you guys have been having a good day, a good week so far, that you've been able to find you a little shady spot to take a break and drink you a glass of water and keep yourselves hydrated. I know lots of areas of the country are begging for rain, and you're having wildfires and all kinds of stuff, and I'm so sorry for that, and we're sure praying for you. We've been fortunate. We did get a little bit dry, but we have gotten some rain. We're not just floating away like we were in the early spring, but I think that we're probably in pretty good shape considering this is late July here in Oklahoma, And I think that we're doing pretty good. The pastures are looking good. We've got grass. Cows are roly-poly fat. Working on little Buddy, getting him fattened up some, and my gardens are coming on. I've heard some of you say that your gardens are winding down, that you've gotten your produce and that they're winding down for you, and I had to say ours is just getting rolling, and so we will have garden up until, you know, frost kills things out, and so we still have several months of gardening and a lot of work to do, but boy, am I looking forward to it. You may be asking yourself, how do you tighten an already tight belt? How do you stretch a budget that's beyond stretch? I know a lot of you are asking, how are we going to make it? You look at you sit down to pay your bills, and you look at what money you have left, and you think, how in the world are we going to get what supplies that we need for our families? Schools getting ready to start again in many locations, and there's school supplies to buy and school clothes, and you know, we're going to go into you know, needing a lot more things to get the kids back in school. So I thought about that, and I thought, what could be some things that I can encourage you to do? What could we do? Seriously, what could we do? Now, you know, I think most people would say, I would love to be prepared for every situation. And I would love to be prepared for that too. But I think your best bet, your best goal, is to be prepared as much as possible for the things that might come your way. None of us can see everything that's coming, but be prepared for the best. And so I thought, you know, first and foremost, I'd say sit down and look at your situation. Look at your bills. Look at the amount of money you've got coming in, and see what you have left. You may have $100 left. You may have $300 left. But no matter what it is that you have left, you've got to make that work. So first thing I would say is eat as many of your meals as you can at home. Now, of course, I know that lunches for school kids, lunches when you're out away from the home because you're working. I understand that. But if at all possible, eat as much of your meals at home. Eat your breakfast at home. Eat your supper at home. On the weekends, you don't always have to go out. Eat at home. Fix the Sunday dinner, and then, you know, do something with those leftovers. Don't throw them out. Use those leftovers. Fix a pot of beans and eat them till the beans are gone. The next thing I would tell you is you are not a diner. Meaning, when you go to make your menu and you have supper and you say, this is what we're having for supper, that's what you're having for supper. You're not there to give a lot of choices for supper. You know, you may have someone in your family say, I don't want that. So you have to fix them something else. And the next one come along and say, I don't like that. And so you have to fix them as something else. That is the fastest way to use up your supplies in a ridiculous amount of time, by being a diner. Close Mom's Diner and have one meal option. You know, maybe several choices as far as, you know, you may fix your meat entree and have a couple, like a salad and then a vegetable or two vegetables, but don't just, you know, you don't want meatloaf, so while the rest of the family's eating meatloaf, I'll fix you chicken, or don't do that. Don't fall into that temptation of doing that. Now, I know there's things that family members don't like. I don't like peas. I'm not going to eat peas. I don't like them. But I'll eat something else that's served in the meal and forego the peas. But don't be a diner. Eat at home. Don't be a diner. Plan your menus. Sit down and plan a menu. A month at a time, a week at a time. Sit down. You know what your family likes. You know what you like. You know your time constraints. Plan your menu. Say, this is what we're going to have. Write it down and stick to the plan. Now, you can be flexible enough that if something comes up, there's always a chance that, you know, something might go wrong and, you know, you're longer away from home than you intended to be in the evening time. And so be able to flip a couple of your meals. But don't be so much that you just go all crazy and don't stick to your plan. Make your menu and do your best to stick with it. Now, the next thing that you need to do is you go and study your pantry and your freezers. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times, I'm guilty of it, and I'm sure that some of you are guilty of it too. You have stuff in your pantry shoved in the back, or you have your stuff in your freezer that's buried under other things, pardon me, that you forget all about. So go make yourself a to-do list. Make your menu, go in there, and you study your pantry. Write down if you have to, write down all your items. Keep track of how many cans of this or that you have. Know your spaghetti sauce, know your pastas, know your soups, know your spices, know all of the different things that you have and the combinations of things that you can make with those ingredients. Go to your freezer. Know how many roasts you have in the freezer. How many steaks you have in the freezer. Do you have a chicken? Do you have a turkey? Do you have a ham? Is there bacon in the freezer? Know all of those things. And then sit down with your menu plan and say, these are the ingredients that I have. Plan your menu. Know that pantry. Know that freezer. When things go on sale at the store and it's a good buy and it's something that you need or you feel like you want to stock so that you'll have extra on your shelf, then you can look at, if you know what you have ingredients wise, you kind of have an idea of that, you know, it's in your head what you've got, then hey, you'll be at the store with your list and you'll say, that's a really good buy and that would go with X and Y and Z and it would make a delicious Sunday dinner. And by all means get that. But know your stock, know what you have. Rotate it out and make sure that you're using the oldest first so that you're never having to throw away any of your stock. Okay, what's next? Take advantage of the season. Pardon me. Take advantage of the season that you're in. This is summertime, so right now there's a whole lot of produce, fruits and vegetables. Take advantage of that. You know, of course, if you have a garden or you have access to farmers markets and produce is a little bit cheaper in the summertime because there's such an abundance of it, get that stuff and start canning it up or dehydrating it or freezing it, getting it put on your shelves and in your freezer in your pantry so that you have those things further down the line to make your grocery budget stretch even further. Take advantage of that. The other thing I mean by taking advantage of the season that you're in is eat what's in season. Now the summertime is really easy because it's hot and most people don't want a hot, heavy meal in the summertime for supper. They want something that's cool, maybe something that's grilled. And I know that grilling, yeah, I just told you the price of steak, and so I know that steaks can be high, but there's you know, there's relatively cheaper cuts of meat that can be marinated and grilled, and you can make all kinds of salads with grilled meats and vegetables and fruits. You know, experiment and find the combinations that you like best, and have salads, green salads and pasta salad and vegetable salads with just a little bit of meat cut up in it. Make a pasta salad and put a little bit of bacon. Pasta is cheap and pasta goes a long ways. Now I know that a lot of people are on a keto diet. I know that. But if you're trying to stretch your family budget and you're trying to make things go as far as possible, you know, you might have to forego the keto and feed your family some pasta. And it doesn't have to be a pasta with a heavy cheese sauce, or, you know, something that's so rich and just so heavy and so draining on a person. It can be a light pasta salad. Put a vinaigrette dressing on it. It's, you know, it's easy to make a vinaigrette dressing, and it's light. Make a homemade ranch dressing or an Italian dressing and toss that salad they're delicious. Make an okra salad or a black-eyed pea salad, and I'm gonna have the recipes on in just a little while when my okra gets off the vines. It'll be a little while for sure, but I'll make a okra salad and a black-eyed pea salad, and my mama always took zucchinis and split them down the middle long ways and scooped out the seeds, and then she cooked just a little bit of meat, and she would put meat and cheese and a lot of times the spaghetti sauce in the wells of those zucchinis where they took the seeds out, and they would cook those squash, and they were delicious. It might take a little bit of learning how to like some things like that, because we're used to eating fast food, and I'm not trying to knock the fast food industry at all, because I like some of that stuff too. But we might have to learn to eat some things. Now's the time before a crisis hits to learn to like some things that's normally not on our food list. Learn to like some things. And then take advantage of the fruits that are in season. Watermelon and cantaloupes, plums and peaches, and I love grilled peaches and plums. Now, I don't like them super hot. It's weird, I know. I like them to be grilled, but I don't like them to be grilled mushy. I just like a little bit of char on them, and they're delicious. Or just eat it. Just eat it. You know, pick it off the tree and wash it and eat it. Enjoy the things that are in season. Put vegetables up so this winter you can enjoy making them into soups and stews and all of those kind of things. But take advantage of the season that you're in. You know, in the winter time, there's things that are in season then. You know, pumpkin and apple and squash and all of those things that will make delicious and warming things for your family. And you can make big quantities of soups and stews. This time of year when it's hot, that's not really what you're interested in. If you like cottage cheese, get cottage cheese, and their options are wide open with cottage cheese. You can cut up some fresh tomatoes or bell peppers, or if you want to go the fruit route, pineapples or strawberries or any kind of fruit, peaches, and have a little salad with strawberries or any kind of fruit and your cottage cheese. And there's all kinds of options to try to stretch your budget further and further. Now this idea wouldn't be popular with with Howie or Blade, either one, because Blade is a meat eater and Howie was a big meat eater, and they wouldn't have liked it. But try to have a few meals that are meatless meals. You know, learn how to make some recipes and leave the meat out of them. I know, not the most popular, but it'll save you a few pennies and you won't have to have as much meat. Make a macaroni a dish and put a little can of tuna. Drain your tuna and put the tuna in it. Or, you know, there's just all kinds of options. Pinterest is full. There's recipes all over YouTube. You know, do a little bit of homework, do a little bit of studying, and find out some things that can stretch your budget. You know, life can knock us around. And right now we're living in kind of unsure and unstable times. And I've got people on here all the time that tells me, you know, I like listening to you, but I don't like it when you go there. And I try not to get political. I really do, because I don't want that to be what my channel's about. But I do feel like I have a responsibility to try to warn you to pay attention to what's going on around you. There's upheaval everywhere. There's chaos. There's all kinds of stuff. So now's the time for you to take opportunity to look well to the ways of your household. I try to be encouraging to you. I don't want this to be a, boy, she just was all sour this time. And I'm not trying to be that way. I'm trying to encourage you to look around you and find ways to stretch that budget. Another idea that some of you are not going to like is don't buy so much soda. Soda, pop, whatever you want to call it, is high. The price keeps going up. Learn to drink water or make tea. Tea is cheap, and tea is refreshing. And I would love to have a tall, ice cold glass of sweet tea. I can't have it because of the sugar, but I would love to have it. I am an old Southern girl and love my sweet tea, but I can't have it. But tea is cheap. Water's cheap. Water's good for you. Put the pop aside. Learn how to make things homemade. And I guess that's the job of some of us that have taken on these YouTube channels, is try to teach you how to do some of those things. Let's learn how to make our salad dressings. Let's learn how to make some of the condiments that our families like to have. You know, if you have little children, I'm sure that they like cookies and things like that. Well, homemade cookies are so much cheaper than store-bought cookies. Another way to extend your money when your belt's tightened, you're getting ready to go shopping for school clothes, and we all want to clothe our kids with good clothes. There's not anything wrong. Give it a shot. Try going to yard sales or garage sales, whatever you call them in your area of the country. You can find clothing that is practically new. Shoes too. Coats. They usually will put coats out. And try to think ahead. Try to think about what the next size up that your child might wear, that you could take advantage of if you run into a good sale on coats and shoes. Resale shops. You know, Goodwill, Salvation Army, resale shops of all kinds. You'd be surprised at how much you can save by getting your kids' school clothes and your clothes to wear to work. You would be surprised. Sometimes we need to swallow a little bit of our pride and be willing to go that direction. And then those things don't end up in a trash heap somewhere. Somebody else is getting another use out of them. So I hope I gave you guys some good ideas. I know this one is a little bit different. Not a whole lot of stories from my childhood. But it just impressed upon me when I heard those stories about the food prices going up and all the prices going up on everything, that it just kind of, you know, twitched my heart just a little bit to think of everyone trying to make ends meet. Now's not the time to buy a new car. Now's not the time to go on a big fancy vacation. Now's the time to save and to look well to the ways of the household and to do what you can to help your family to get by. You know, it's not crazy either for 2 or 3 families, small families within your family, to work together to get things done and put up. We've gotten together before and put up corn, and at the end of the day, all the ladies took different, you know, baskets of corn home with them to put in their freezer. I'm working with Granny, and we're canning up, well, so far just pickles, because that's all that's come out of the garden, but we have canning things, you know, they'll be put on my shelf and her shelf, and I'll be sharing with others. And you know, many hands make light work, and so that's another thing. Work with others to accomplish your goals. You know, see if you can't get together as a group and buy, you know, and maybe get a better price on things. Well, I've rambled on and on, guys, and I just wanted to bring you some ideas to help make your pockets just a little bit deeper, to make your budget stretch just a little bit further. Well, I love y'all. This is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead. Until next time, keep looking well to the ways of your household. I love you. I really do. We're gone.